What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Let's Argue About It. Today I got Quez, fellow cool dad,
What up?
founding and co-owner or owner of Touching Souls, putting shoes on feet in the community coming near you. So, Quez, just before we even get started, just kind of let the audience know, like, who is Touching Souls? Like, how did that come about?
Um, Touching Souls came about when I was my last semester in college. I went to HBCU, Fayetteville State in North Carolina,
Shout out to that.
and it was one of those things. I was going through the process of trying out for football teams and NFL, CFL, things of that nature, and I knew at some point that I was going to have to go back home. Home is Rockford, Illinois, about an hour out from Chicago, and I knew that I was going back home. I wanted to make a difference and pretty much just tell my story back home to the youth and just to the community. And I know for a fact that back home, resources are not that abundant, So I went back to my middle school and I knew I'm like, how can I reach the youth in a way that they will listen? And I knew it was shoes right
Mm.
off the bat.
Meet them where they are.
Meet them
Shoes,
where they are,
100%.
and I was one of the kids that had, the nicest shoes. So I'm looking at it from a whole different spectrum. It's like, okay, cool. I was the one that had the nice things, so I'm gonna go and give back to the ones that don't, or the ones that's just really not even focused on school. They just need a kick in the ass per se, or
Mm-hmm.
some type of motivating factor. And I went to my middle school and I pitched it to them, and they was wanting me to talk that same day. I'm like, I would love to, but I just wanted to see if y'all was on board for me to
Mm-hmm.
come back and talk. And I gifted 2 pairs of shoes like a week after that, and then here we are now.
Which ones were they? The first two pair you gave away,
My
what were
my
they?
first 2 pair, it was a red and white pair of Air Force Ones,
Okay.
lows, and then I want to say it was some it was some New Balances or something like
Okay.
that, because they were still and you know what it was? Red and white Air Force Ones, and it was some white and black shell toe Adidas. I got the video on
Oh,
YouTube.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right. Your
yeah.
first two pair.
My
That's a,
first two
that's
pair
a that's
ever.
a monumental. You
My
know what
first
I
two
mean?
pair,
So
bro.
shout out to anybody out there sees this.
Yeah,
It's a little market placement, right? Gives out shell toed Adidas. You
for
know we
sure.
need
Listen, I'm getting them
that.
all out.
Look. Nah. So this is about you and about how you started your organization. But like, what's your story? Like, how did you grow up? Like, obviously a lot of stuff that played into a part from not just your adolescence might have, what made you want to come around. Like, okay, this is it. So, like, what kind of upbringing did you have?
Man, I had a really, really cool upbringing. I got two ends of the spectrum again. My dad and my grandpa, hustlers, stand up gentlemen. Man, my dad is my best friend to this day. So just having that as a young boy played a major, major role in just
Mm-hmm.
my trajectory as a man. My mom is a visionary. She's a creative. She's currently a teacher as well too. Love to travel, So I had both of those to pretty much in a mixing bowl, and then here I come. So I want to say that I had the best of both worlds. I had my grandparents, they were living, and pouring into me. My community poured into me greatly. I didn't really know that we were struggling until I got older. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That they was
Yeah.
making ends meet and things of that nature. But I never knew that because my life to me was
Golden.
it was golden.
Yeah.
They got divorced when I was about 6 years old. So up until I was about six, I always say I had the perfect life where I had 2 dogs. We had my siblings, both parents were working, and
Yeah.
then that came to a screeching halt for whatever reason. And then from there, my dad still stayed in my life, of course, but then we moved my mom, and then we were just kind of going from house to house, school to school. Like I said, she was just making ends meet, making sure that I at least had the necessities.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're a young boy and then you see, your mom trying to go from job to job and she's in school, and then my sister became my second mom because my mom was gone a lot of the time. So during this time is when I figured out, okay, how can I start making some money? How can I,
Mm-hmm.
become like per se the man of the house? You know what I mean? And this is at this point, I'm probably say 10, 11 years old, and I'm making lifelong friends at the middle school because we stay right next to the middle school. And but even throughout then, like I was just instilled like morals and principles from my dad's friends. I
Mm-hmm.
call them guys my uncles and stand up guys around the city. I was one of the ones that was more so protected,
Mm.
from the BS in the city
Yeah.
and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Because I had a future in sports, and I had some of the best grades, perfect attendance in school. Like
Oh
my
yeah,
parents ain't play about that
yeah,
shit, bro.
yeah. Come on
You going to
now,
school to get education, my
come on
boy.
now.
Like, you know what I'm
Before any of
saying? I
that,
didn't have a choice to say like, oh no, I ain't going to school today, or they like, hell no. And we're gonna make sure that you look the part. You're not going to school no
hmm
pajama pants. You're not, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have your hair cut, So they
yeah.
instilled that shit in me from a young age. So I say that because it's really important to me, and even how I raise my kids as well too. And then all throughout that, I was just a voice of reason to my friends that didn't have that.
Mm.
You know, they gravitated towards me and my dad's relationships, and me and my household. Even though it was some
People like me.
guidance and it was some structure, they was like, listen, come on over. And I enjoyed that too, because some households, you got authoritarians where they just like strict as hell. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? Then you got some that just lackadaisical, let you do whatever. So I'm glad that I was able to get a little bit of both. And my friends gravitated towards it, and we had a ball though, man. We really had a ball. So my childhood really made me to who I am today. Outside of everybody that poured into me, poured into me, both sides of the family and the streets as well too. So
Okay. All right. So, we fast forward. You're in college, right?
yeah,
What'd you go to school for? What'd you want to be when you actually graduated college, right? And do you still
man.
do that now?
You know what? I changed my major because I went to junior college after I graduated from Boylan Cat. I went to Catholic high school too, by the way. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What
So I
they say about them Catholic
went.
people?
I went to the worst middle school of the city at the
Yeah.
time, called West Middle School, and it was just like it was horrible. You know what I'm saying? But it was not. It was normal for us though. It was normal. Like for everybody else, like, man, you go to that school, like, bro, this the crib. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Home.
then I went to the Catholic high school, which had, of course, really good education, and then they was really good in football.
Mm-hmm.
Really good in sports. So I went there, and then from there the recruiting process. And mind you, we won 2 state championships. I won 2 state championships
All
in
right.
football my
All
junior year
right.
and my senior year.
You play running back,
I
corner,
played receiver, slot
receiver.
receiver.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
And then from there, recruiting process didn't really go as promised. So then the local community college that we were introduced to came around into the picture, and then it was like, you know what? So I want to say about 4 or 5 of us ended up going to College of DuPage, and they're really really good right now. Shout out to COD. So we went there, and then I played. I was JUCO All American. I had to sit out my first year. We had some studs that was playing in front of me. Some guys went to the NFL, and then like I said, I went to JUCO All American, and then I was recruited by Fayetteville State,
Mm-hmm.
and then I ended up going. I ain't even visit.
Just
I was
went.
I was so thirsty to go play
Yeah,
football,
yeah, yeah,
bro.
yeah. They
They
say
called me,
I'm a
yo, we
real
need you.
baller. Like,
I'm
yeah, I'm
coming.
here, I'm
I
there.
don't even know shit about Fayetteville,
At all. Cause
but I
what the fuck? You coming from a
listen.
big city to like I ain't gonna say the country out there, but they probably like it's a
Nah, for
small. Yeah,
sure.
it's a small.
It is
It's small.
small
It ain't.
military
It ain't
town.
exactly.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it ain't. It ain't. It ain't
So,
nothing. You know what I'm
but
saying?
it felt like home in a way that it is small, because our home where we from, Rockville, Illinois,
Mm-hmm.
is small in,
Mm-hmm.
comparison to a lot of big cities. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We know everybody, of course, like that. So going to Fayetteville, they welcomed me with open arms, and it was love from the get go. And I was a transfer. I didn't go there straight out of high school, so I was already like an upperclassman per
Mm-hmm.
se. You know what I mean? So went to Fayetteville, and then from before Fayetteville, I wanted to become into sports medicine,
Sports medicine. Okay.
like
Sounds
kinesiology and shit
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
But playing sports, I'm just like all this traveling, football practice. I ain't got time to
So-
be studying all that shit, bro. I'm like, I was, I wasn't
Bro, you
down
supposed
into
to
my
be a
craft.
student
Yeah, yeah,
athlete.
yeah. I
You
know,
was you
bro.
just said you was
I
raised on
know.
principles where we
I
did not
was,
play about
bro. They
education,
didn't.
and now you talking about
I
man.
know.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
And I mean, rightfully so. My senior high school, bro, I was checked out. I was over with.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
after you do good for so long, bro,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
cool. I'm
I'm
burnt out. I'm
yeah.
burnt out on
I
school.
done did it. I
You
done
know
did
what I
it
mean?
all.
If it
Yeah.
wasn't for a scholarship, I probably wouldn't even went to college. You know what I
Shit,
mean? Like, I was that burnt out on just school, just in classroom. I didn't want to do
man.
that shit no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But the incentive for that was football.
yeah.
You know,
That makes
so
sense.
I changed my major when I went to Fayetteville into mass comm. So I graduated my mass comm
Mhm.
degree, my bachelor's, and I mean, you can say I'm using it. I'm in communications every single day.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
what I do for a living is, of course, I'm the chief of staff for my best friend Fred VanVleet, who's the point guard of the Houston Rockets. So I handle all of his business affairs. So, you can say that I'm using my communications
Mm-hmm.
major when I'm going to, get these deals done and everything. But other than that, man, it was one of them things where really was looking for the path of least resistance during while I was playing football. And they
Yeah.
like, mass calm. I'm like,
Yeah.
shit, say, look, sign
Okay.
me up,
Yes,
sign
I
me up.
was. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just a part of who I am.
Yeah. So you're a sociable guy. It sounds like you very like you
For
walk into a
sure.
room and what's everybody
Oh
good? Yeah.
man, I
Yeah.
see the value in
Absolutely.
people, man.
Yeah.
I'm a real. I like to say that like I love humanity. I love to meet people. I love the different aspects and the different viewpoints that everybody have. I'm not right. You're not right. It's not a right or wrong thing. It's a, oh man, I never think about it like that. You know what I'm saying? But when I meet somebody, I'm like, okay, what do they have that I don't have, or how can they enlighten me on different
Mm-hmm.
things? So I enjoy that aspect of life, bro.
That's cool. Never be the smartest in the room, is what they say,
That part.
right? So bringing it back to touching souls, right?
Hmm.
You're a nonprofit. How is it navigating in that space, right? Because I feel like it's a lot different. Like you have your business, what you do, boom, boom, boom. But how is operating in a nonprofit? Is it more challenging? Is it, like how did that, how does your experience?
You know what? Operating a nonprofit, from my own experience, is super easy. Only
Oh, okay.
because I've I've done it my whole life. I was raised up into it. Like my mom used to have us donating all our old clothes. We went to the Red Cross Foundation. We did stuff with the church. So giving back is just a part of me.
Yeah, human nature.
It's my human nature, because I've already been raised up to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So when the idea came, it was like, boom. I'm talking about usually when people think of how I'm gonna name this business, how I'm gonna name this, the name came just like that.
Yeah,
Touching souls, like I was like, oh, but bet, boom, shoe
easy.
soul,
Chee,
boom. It
easy.
was easy. And then now that I'm living in it, it's connecting with the younger generation, which I believe that we should like do a really really like great job with just connecting with them. So operating in this space, bro, is honestly easy because I just want to hear like ideas that they have and just
Mm-hmm.
like be they beacon of reason and hope. Anyway,
Yeah. So, you talk about, it was easy for you, right? So, do you think that a lot of people get into the nonprofit space because of like the cameras and things like that, and the optics behind it?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've been approached by different groups on partnership and collaboration, and then you could just tell like they're not in it because they heart in it. It's not genuine. They in
Hmm.
it because it's a bunch of perks that come with being a 501c3, and it's a bunch of perks that that when you give, and they know that something else coming in return, but when you give, you ain't even supposed to think about receiving
That's
anything.
exactly what you know what I'm
So
saying. Yeah.
to your question, yes, there's a lot of people that do it because it's a lot of perks and for the camera, and they may look at you in a certain like, oh man, he giving back the whole time. He a POS.
Yeah. So you say that. So are there brands that like you mentioned brands approach you, right? You
Hmm.
don't got to name. We're not naming no brands, but
Right.
like if a brand you can tell isn't genuine about what they're trying to do you still work with them even though the money might be what it's worth?
Nah, nah,
Like
nah,
if they're
nah.
saying, "Hey, I'm gonna give you 500 pair of shoes," but you're just like, "I know you're not really trying to give this for a good reason." Do you be like, "Nah, I'm good," or do you be like, "Nah, give me the 500, but I really don't care about your agenda on the back end"?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no, yes and
Yeah.
no. I can't be the person that's going to determine if they're doing it, for good or bad
Yeah.
cause. It's just sometimes like energy.
Yeah.
You walk
Energy.
into a
Yeah.
room,
You
it's whatever. You know
discernment.
what I
You can
mean?
add that. Yeah.
So if they was to quote unquote say, hey, I'm gonna give you these 500 pairs of shoes for you to distribute them out to your group, then
Hmm.
cool. I
Hmm.
appreciate that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Then next thing you know, oh, they may not be the best group to work with, but they helped me at least sow a seed in what I was
I'm trying.
doing.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know if
got you
they, if they
with
full
it.
of shit or not, but when it comes back down to you, be like, man, I had a feeling about them. But then it's like, they sowed a seed into what I got going on,
Yeah.
so they believed in me. It's almost like somebody that ain't really own what you own, but they looking
Yeah.
out for you anyway. You like, I can't really hang out with you like
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, you rock with me, then cool. I
Okay.
can't, I can't stamp on what you're doing.
So, we talk about being a nonprofit, right, versus a for profit, right? Do you think that sometimes it's bad for nonprofits to profit,
No, not necessarily. I
right?
mean,
Or should they always be zeros? Like, you're always supposed to be zero, right? So you're supposed to really
I
like
think
make
it's
no.
actually a misnomer that
Okay.
some nonprofits can become, for profits.
Yeah.
Say for instance, you got a nonprofit and we got teas for sale, or we got
Yeah.
merch for sale,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
case may
Yeah.
be. I think at that rate, then it's cool to become, for profit. And I also do feel like at some point, if you want to merge off into the for profit, then let it be that. I
Let it
don't
be
think,
that.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think
I think it's cool.
that you a bad person because you turned your nonprofit into a for profit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see where there's a lane for to make some money off of it, but that don't mean that you still can't be a good person and donate.
Yeah, nah, I get it. So what?
Time is money, brother.
Time is yeah, you know, money is time, but you don't get that back. And money
For
is
sure,
time. Time
for
is money.
sure.
Every second we sit here, which is by the way, I appreciate you coming because this is giving me some time right here, and I can't pay you at all.
No, no doubt.
Nah, so we get back into touching souls, right? What are some of the community that you really hit hard in? I know I'm gonna say ask a dumb question. I know you being colored. I know you be kind of be in that third world area, right? Is that like your focus area right now? Like change third world first and try to get to everywhere else afterwards, or like why did you pick third world? Because I see you all over third world.
Yeah, well, I only been in Houston 3 years now. So
Okay.
based off of the connections that I've been having already, a lot of people had connected us with the principal over in Third Ward. So that was just kind of a layup from when I first got here.
Yeah.
So then upon learning what Third Ward stand for, what they about, it was like, oh, cool, I feel at home. And then I went to my first time doing a stick giveaway. I went to say like 6 schools here, but I had a really, really great like connection with Cullen.
Yeah.
And so I've been using them, and they've been using me as almost like the example school. You know,
Okay.
we go over there, get all our ideas out, get everything flushed out. You know, and then I wanted to take a lot off my plate and kind of focus in on one group.
Yeah.
And so Cullen was the group that I
Okay.
said I'm gonna focus in on,
Hmm.
but then of course, you know, expand as time goes on.
Okay. So is it specifically that age group too, or do you
Yeah,
like that's
I'm
like
glad
middle
you
school or
asked.
high school, right? So like, do you not?
No, I'm
Okay.
glad you asked because middle school I feel as though is the identity crisis stage.
Okay.
Like elementary school,
That's
they're
interesting.
almost too young, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
they're like kindergarten through fourth grade. Fifth grade is almost at that point.
Yeah.
They're kind of a little too young to understand what's going on. Not saying all of them, but majority of them is. High school has so much set their ways. Some of them, right?
It's too late in a way.
It's almost too late. I never say it's too late for all of them. It's just
Yeah.
almost. They set their ways. Middle school, they trying to figure out what they're gonna be, who they want to be. Is we gonna
Hmm.
try to we trying to impact our friends. You know what?
Yeah.
How do we want everybody else to look at us?
Hmm.
So I knew that was the age range, that sixth through eighth grade
Yeah.
age range,
The most
age group,
impressionable ones,
the
the ones
most
the
impressionable
ones you
ones.
can take
That's the ones I
and
started
mold.
from the get go, bro.
Okay. So, like I said, I know we already mentioned that you're still in Houston, but do you still do your own community in?
Yes, in
Okay.
Rockford.
All right. So
Yeah,
how do you balance, what's up there down here? Because you live in Houston, so like,
right.
you
I
can't be
can,
in two places at
yeah,
once.
nah, you're
So
right about that. Now it's funny you asked me that because I've been currently getting a bunch of just requests on different schools that's need based or whatever the case may be. But I got eyes everywhere. You know, I got
hmm
eyes and ears everywhere. Hey, this school, would love to have you. This school would love
hmm
to have you. Mind you, bro, I done went all over the U.S. since I started in 2017. Miami, D.C., North Carolina. You know, I've been everywhere. But it's just going based off of if you know a principal or you know a school that you think could greatly benefit off of it, AyQuez, I think Touch and Souls will really do great at this school. Then I'll look into it, and then we'll make sure that the finances is what it need to be, and then we'll figure it out. One thing for sure, a lot of what I'm doing is based off of who you know. If
Mm.
you can introduce
That's
me
me.
to somebody,
Okay.
it's not because we can go anywhere in the states and just go
hmm
pop up out of school. But if you got a really good relationship with the principal or a teacher or somebody like that, and then 10 times out of 10, not even nine, 10 times out of 10, they're gonna be like, yes, come on, we
Come on
need
with
you.
it. Okay. So when you get, it's just you or the one man team. Well, I say one man team, but it's kind of what you and a Houston crew, right?
Correct.
So like when you go to another school, there will never like simultaneously be like something's happening in Houston while there's something happening in
No, no, no,
Rockford. You
no.
guys will always do one at a time on any given week or day or however y'all want to do it.
Correct,
So y'all
correct.
just travel like whenever it's time
Yeah,
just to go.
I just travel. I just
Shit.
travel around,
So
bro.
have you ever thought about like setting up bases of touching souls in different areas without you guys always having to be at each
I
one?
have because it's
Okay.
getting to a point now where I want other people to tell their stories, like other business CEOs, other athletes. I've been the one that's going around telling my story, which is cool. I never get tired of
Yeah,
telling
come
my
on now.
story, but I want to add another component where if we go back home to Rockford, I can get one of the Rockford leaders to come and talk to the kids of that nature. But I wanted to operate even without me even being there.
Mm.
So yes, to your question, I want to get to that point where I don't even necessarily have to be there. I want this brand and this nonprofit to have enough exposure and enough brand dominance that they know, like, okay, bet, boom, we see this TS logo, we got some shoes coming.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna feed the whole school lunch, and the
Oh, you get lunch
founder.
too? Get
Oh
shoot
yeah,
English?
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
no, you ain't say
yeah,
that part, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, you
So
know me.
that so that's
Yeah, no, yeah,
that's
two.
yeah.
That's two things you giving, brother. You giving a
For
meal and
sure.
some shoes.
I'm giving
Ah,
them
yeah,
because
I'm hooked.
I don't
The
want
Quez
all
the
the
realest.
kids.
Hey, if I said
Yeah,
let that come
bro.
in middle school, I gotta be a pair of new Air Force
For
One.
sure.
Nigga, I'm like, hey, Quez the coolest nigga on the block,
For
yo.
shit show.
When he
Cause
coming back?
I'm
When that nigga coming back?
cause I'm trying to be like one of my biggest goals is to flood a whole school with shoes, plus the
Okay,
staff.
okay,
All right. I've been able to do like 100 and say like 15 pairs of shoes so
okay.
far. But the day I'm able to like flood the entire school with shoes, that's a really, really a goal checked off.
Okay.
So in the meantime, I'll do like 70, 80,
Yeah.
60s, you know what I'm saying? But
And these
then
high quality shoes. We not for that. Yeah,
I'm giving them shit that I'm wearing.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Because I
Air
was
Force
wondering that because a
Ones,
lot of times people are
Asics,
donating and they be like,
yeah.
oh, I'm
Cause you
donating.
would get your ass bullied over the
Come
wrong
on,
shoe
bro. That's what I
anyway.
was like. You bring me, but no
Yeah.
disrespect to Shaq and the
But
Starberries. I used to wear them
still,
Starberries. Though, I ain't gonna lie to you, but
no,
no disrespect to them though. Yeah,
Stephen
I mean,
Barry's.
yeah, you wear them boys right
Yeah.
there, boy. But no disrespect to them. Like if you didn't have, like they were just generics or
Yeah.
something else, right? And so you get the wrong generic, even if it is a gift, you might be doing more harm
You
than
doing
you
more
are
harm, bro.
good,
This
right?
era now, bro, is like bullying on 1,000% right now. You know what I mean? So, and you should always be grateful and be gracious to whatever come your way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a firm believer, and I got to get them something that I will wear. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna give you no shit just
Shit.
because this is what I'm doing for a living. No, I'm gonna give
Yeah.
you some shit I will wear. I got
Okay.
it on my feet. And 9 times out of 10, when I'm giving them a gift, that same day, I'm wearing the same shoes.
See,
I'm wearing the
so
same
you
shoes,
couldn't.
and that's something that don't
It's just
nobody
a
even really know.
yeah.
If I'm getting on
That's
Air Force Ones,
crazy.
I'm wearing Air Force
Now
Ones.
we gotta go back and look at the pics. Now we gotta
Yeah,
go back and
no,
look at
for
the pics. Like,
sure.
oh shit, this nigga really was coordinated like
Yeah,
that.
I ain't playing no game. I'm
Nah, cause
letting
I
them
ain't
know
never looked
I
either.
got this shit on too.
Yeah, that's
You know?
fire. So like let's talk about we talk about the expansion. We talk about what has been some of the challenges though. I know you say it's easy,
Yeah.
right? And I think when you talk about it's easy just to give because that's human nature, right? But there has to have been some challenges, especially being a fresh, new nonprofit, right? Like
Mm,
everybody can't start a nonprofit. A lot of people talk about it. A lot of people like, where do I start? Where do I go? So,
yeah.
what was your challenges early on to even get to a point where you're able to do that?
The challenges early on, I would say, is not being able to give everybody like I wanted to give
Damn.
people. Like when it comes down to the business and the paperwork and all this type of shit, I'm on business. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm getting that.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
I'm locked in with that.
Yeah.
The real challenge is not being able to gift the kids that really need it. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
you might have a teacher come up and be like, man, I really wish that such and such could have got some. And I'll be like, all right, here go $100. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I really got a real heart for that shit. I give
Yeah.
off my shoes.
Yeah.
So that's the toughest part about what I do is leaving the facility or leaving the classroom or whatever and just seeing some of them kids like, man, I don't get no shoes. I'm like, damn, like not today. I'm gonna come back. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the toughest part about what I do.
Yeah.
Other than that, hell no, it ain't tough for me.
Yeah. So let's go deeper then, right? Because we talk about being impressionable. Do you think that like when you leave and like that, I'm gonna be right back, but you never, not say you never come back, but you don't come back immediately, you don't come back whatever. Do you think that has like a psychological, like, not saying that's what you tell every kid,
I
but
get what
like,
you're saying.
but like just you're not being able to get it, but they're asking you the question like, hey, I ain't getting no shoes, but they see somebody else get shoes, right? Like, how does that? I like now I gotta know because it's just like what's
so this is my spiel to them is like, also that's life though. You're not gonna get everything you want right now in this beckoning call. You know what I mean? It's like, and I tell them, I'll be back at some point. I'm never gonna be like, I'm be back tomorrow, give y'all some shoes. You know what I mean? But I tell them during when I speak to them, I say, I'm giving some well-deserved students some shoes. Not saying that y'all that's not getting none is not deserving of it, but I want y'all to at least be happy for your classmates too. I want them to, and that's why I do it in front of the entire student body, because it's like, listen, you might not be getting some shoes today, but I want you to start being happy for your people. Start clapping for your people. Even though you ain't getting nothing. I tell them in the gate, we ain't being no haters today, man.
Yeah, don't get mad, don't be booing.
Don't get mad, don't be trying to, you know what I'm saying, be all like, let me get your shoes and all this type of shit. Like, nah, that's not how life go. Of course, I wish I could give everybody in this school a pair of shoes. I wish I could. I wish I had the finance to do so. But I let them know, like, I want y'all to understand, like, being happy for your classmate or your teammate is just just like you getting them. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Whenever my homeboys, anybody getting
Yeah, we
something,
excited. Like,
I'm
yeah,
excited, just
yeah,
like I got it.
yeah. Come on, now.
You
You
know what
win,
I
I
mean?
win. We all win, right?
Yeah,
And
but
if the
that's
like what they say, if the blessings in the
bro.
neighborhood, you know
It's
what I'm saying,
overflowing, bro.
it's only gonna come to, you know what I mean.
That's
I want to
it.
be wherever they at,
That's it,
wherever
dog.
that blessing is flowing at. You want to be next to it,
For
y'all.
sure,
Like, because if you're
absolutely.
next to it, it's
Gonna
gonna
flow right
flow.
into your lap. And
Exactly.
if you genuinely happy about this
There you
person,
go,
you know what I'm
genuine.
saying?
There you
Because you can
go.
be like on some old, yeah, it's cool, that's cool,
Yeah,
he got them, and then you'll never get no blessings like that.
yeah,
You know what I'm
nah.
saying? But
But
if
like
you
a
genuinely
genuine,
like, oh man, that's dope. I'm glad he got them, and I know my time coming. That's almost how you feel. I know my time coming. It might not have been today, but my time coming. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like not preach to them that, but I'm just like, yo, listen, I know I wasn't able to provide y'all with no shoes today, but that doesn't mean that you're not deserving. That doesn't mean that I don't love you. That doesn't mean any of those type of things. It's just that finances was only able to give this amount of group sum, and I'm not even the one that's picking the students.
oh
You
yeah, the
know,
teachers
I let
are.
the teachers and everybody pick. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And the peers.
Cause they
So
know
some of the
them.
peers,
They
yeah,
know them.
they
Yeah,
know them way
that's
better
smart.
than I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I kind of get out of it like that. Man,
Yeah.
y'all teachers the ones who picked
Nah,
y'all.
yeah. Nah. Shifting the blame, brother.
Nah, for
Nah.
sure. But I let them know, man, it's all love, man. And as much as I wish I can give every last one of them a pair of shoes, I'm here for y'all, like
Okay.
regardless. And I do tell them I'll be back, and 9 times out of 10 I come back and make a visit.
Okay. You said one of your biggest goals, obviously is to flood a whole school. Like, how is your partnership process working? I mean, you really. I mean, obviously, we're not gonna act like you're connected, right? You've been in this
Yeah.
world, you've been around, you've been to multiple states, and you got the same person that I got, brother. You talking to anybody, you gonna figure out who they are. How can there be a value of exchange, or if it's just, hey, this person a good person, am I a good person?
That's
Are
another.
we
Well,
homies? You know what I mean?
you
Like
know
what?
what
Go ahead.
though?
What you about to say?
That's another, I would say, tough part about what I do, because everything I've been doing is from my own pocket.
Yeah.
So reaching out to different brands as far as the whole like shoe giveaway thing, that's been tough.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that I'm really, really, really adamant about getting going forward, is about some type of sneaker collab, some type of sneaker partnership. I've been purchasing shoes from Champ Sports and House of Hoops since 2017. I haven't got a deal. Not that I'm even looking for one. You know what I'm saying? But at the same point, it's just like, all right, bet. When does this become a point of, hey, what is Touching Souls doing? We would
Yeah.
love to fund them, or we would love
Yeah.
to, just gift them a bunch of shoes.
Yeah.
And I'm steady working.
Yeah.
I'm steady working. It's just like one of them things that I know is coming at some point.
Okay.
It's from my own pocket. I ain't even tripping. I got a couple homies and players that I deal with that have donated a couple dollars towards Touching Souls, and I'm thankful and I'm gracious for those people. But at some point, I would love if, say, Nike, New Balance, Asics, somebody just came on board, was like, man, we love what you're doing. We would love to fund you and give you some shoes to give to the youth, with our stamp on it. Oh, man.
Do a whole school.
So
Be real, like flood a whole school with it.
I know it's a bunch of shoes that they don't be used and that these kids can use. So I would love that. That's another tough part about what
That's another tough part. So, I'm gonna ask you this then. If you go broke doing it, are you still gonna do it?
Hell yeah. For sure. I didn't went broke doing it.
Okay, hey, bro. Hey, look.
I didn't
Talk
went
the
broke
real
doing it. You know
thing.
what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even tripping. Like, I know that's where a lot of my blessings come from. Because I'm not doing it for that reason. Like, all right, bet. Listen, I got this much in the account. Let's go get this lunch, go get them shoes, and I'll be cool until the following week. I'll figure it out. I ain't tripping. I did this shit broke without no money. I ain't tripping.
Yeah.
It's for the kids.
It's
more
for
than
the
it is for
kids.
me. I got what I need. I got what I need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the stories I've heard, it's been like, damn, I would get in my whole wardrobe.
Yeah.
I don't give no fuck about this shit, bro.
Nah, it's all materialistic anyway.
That's all it
can't
is,
go
man.
nowhere.
But it's helping these kids. Like, we learning these kids not even going to school because they feeling inferior to their peers who got nice things.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't trying to be Martin Luther King, but if I can give you some new shoes, got them go to school.
Yeah,
here
and you
go,
go,
bro.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Here
You don't know,
go,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think you mentioned it's like it's the humanitarian aspect of it, right? It's the human nature of it. It's I grew up in the church. Grew up. My mom I was a single parent household, but my mom had me in church every Sunday, and I was around men in the church, and how they gave, and what I mean, how you dress, all that kind of stuff. So I had the world of like, having like a male figure around me, so I understand the value of it. But like you say, every time we was always giving, we was out there going to the elderly homes and singing choir. So I was like, I'm like, why am I here singing to these old people that, but I'm like, man, not realizing that they value that and that they love that, and when you're
For
doing it,
sure.
and they hear you, like some people only interaction. Some people
Yeah.
get dropped off
Like
in
you
there.
don't know what you're
Kids
doing to
never
change their
came
life.
back, and they just in there, like holding your hand. You're like, man, you start to understand those connections. So I 100% understand, like, just if it's not done for the right reasons,
Yeah.
people just gonna fold at any point in time. So that's gonna bring me to my next question, right? Like, if there was one thing that you thought could have folded you when you was doing this, what would have been?
Mm, probably just probably just not having the finances, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful to be in the position that I have,
yeah,
finance to do this.
yeah,
Um, but it's really just like I want to do it, so I want to make it even bigger. You know what I
mm-hmm,
mean? And if I didn't have the finance to do what I've been doing thus far, and the community support too,
mm-hmm,
that's one thing that I can say that my community is like behind me 1,000%. They always ask me, "Hey, when you gonna do another sneak
mm-hmm.
giveaway? When you gonna do this? When you gonna do that?" So without the community support and without the, of course, finances, I would have been folded. I would have been like, "I'm cool, bro. Y'all got it."
You
Like, you
got
know what
it.
I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like y'all got it. But due to those two things that I'm able to do it, like
yeah,
I'm gonna keep it pushing. I'm gonna keep
yeah,
it pushing because I want this to live when I leave this earth.
yeah.
This
Okay,
that's one of the
legacy. It's
yeah.
legacy. That's what
That's
it
one of
is.
this. That's one of that's what this is about. This could run when I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like touching souls, I bet we know Quez was the one who pioneered it, wherever the case may be, and that's how I want touching souls to live
So it's
on.
safe to say that if like you give, don't expect nothing in return. But
Hell
like
no.
you doing this, you seeing what's happening. What has touching souls gave you?
You know what it gave me, bro? It gave me a select handful of kids that I'm connected with today.
Yeah.
Like the ones, because even if you give out, say, 80 pairs of shoes, and they all might say thank you, hey, you know what I'm saying, but there might be another two that come up to you, be like, man, I appreciate that. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the ultimate present and the ultimate compliment about what I do. It's a couple kids that I talk to this day that I connected with in 2017. I still talk to them. They didn't graduate high school, and just like, man, Quiz, I appreciate you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like I had my first child, like
Yeah.
that's the type of
Sharing
shit that,
the moments
yeah,
and real
that's what
connection,
it's
them
about,
garnered in
bro.
I get it.
That's what it's about. And just having them conversations, just having them kids reach out, just off of merely just opportunity. I went and connected with them and gave them some shoes. And I always tell them, I'm probably happier giving you the shoes than you is receiving them. Because you got a lot of them kids, they be reluctant to come up because
Mm-hmm.
they kind of embarrassed and shit like
Mm-hmm.
that. They don't want to come and get no new shoes. I'm like, man, I would have ran up and
This
got them
nigga
new
what?
shoes. You know
Ah,
what I'm
that
saying?
better
Some Air
shoot,
Force Ones,
shoot.
shit.
Oh man,
But
shoot.
I get it. I get it too, because then, and I don't put it out there like, oh, this for less than fortunate, because it's not. It
Mm-hmm.
could be the worst kid of the school. Let
Mm-hmm.
me talk to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he may not just be getting any attention at home,
Yeah.
but he may be raising his siblings.
Yeah.
He washing clothes. He cooking. They stay
Mm-hmm.
with grandma.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't work. He ain't focused on school.
Mm-hmm.
He can give a fuck about school right now.
Mm-hmm.
He coming home and he coming to school getting his only meal in school. They sleep like this kid always sleep in school. Do y'all think he's sleeping at home? No, he ain't sleeping at home. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of variations. There's a lot of factors that go
That's
into
crazy. I didn't even think
all
about
this
that
shit, bro.
correlation. That's so
Yeah,
wild. Like
bro.
why he always sleeping.
Why he
I've never
always
even
sleep,
thought.
bro? The
I
man
never
not
even
getting no
thought
sleep at
that is
home, bro.
like
You know what
that's
I'm
just a
saying?
crazy thing to think.
He
Like there
living in
are
a
so
chaotic
many.
environment. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? This is school is peace for him.
Yeah.
You don't sleep where it ain't peaceful at,
Nah, that's crazy.
right? You
No,
come,
that's crazy.
yeah. You
Like
come
just
into
thinking about how
school,
that really is a thing. Like you were just growing up. Like how many kids I knew that would be sleeping in class. Like,
bro.
oh, this fool sleeping in class. That's
You sleep in
crazy.
class
I'm looking at
again.
him like he crazy for sleeping in class the
Whole
whole
time he
time.
like, man,
He not sleeping at
I
the
can't. This
crib.
the best sleep I'm getting right now.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I can't wait for lunchtime. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like these kids not focusing on schoolwork, and some of the teachers aren't equipped to even have this conversation. Oh man, he's acting out. He's
Yeah.
no. How about you ask him what's wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Ask this kid what's wrong with him. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But it's just like they jump to conclusion, and he's just not paying attention. He's combative. He's defiant. He's woo woo. But what is his home life like? And
Mm-hmm.
the compliment of what I'm doing is going in there. The shoes is just minuscule to what I do.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is just here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now what's happening? You know what I'm saying? I talk to them like they my younger siblings.
Yeah.
What's up, bro? Like it was one of them in school. they just walk in the hallway and the principal was having trouble with them. She's like, "Yeah, that's one of my troublemakers right there." You know, I come, "What's up, man? Your ass over here. What's up with you? Why you up in this hallway? Why you in the class?" You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
talk to him, but be real relatable to him. You know what I mean? Man,
Yeah.
I'm you me.
Yeah.
You know, and I always, before I give them the shoes or even during, I always tell them this every giveaway. Yo, if didn't nobody tell y'all today that they love you, I love you. I love you because I'm here. Ain't nobody making me do this. This ain't no community service project I'm doing. I'm doing this shit because I love to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really get their attention when I say that. I look around and I'll be like, okay, boom. They all like,
Yeah.
I love you too. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That shit like getting chill bumps for real.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I bet. You know what I'm saying? You can almost tell like not what they going through, but you can empathize with them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You
And
can sit
especially
with
how they
them.
talking and shit like
Yeah.
that too. Like, man, Quiz, man. Because then they open up. Because at first they see a bunch of boxes of shoes and they see lunch and shit. They like, what you doing up here? And sometimes I got the DJ playing the vibes. And then after I start talking and I'm dancing with them, we all, you know what I'm saying? We kicking it. Then now they come up, Quiz, man, you ain't gonna believe this shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, cussing and everything. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
listen, you know what I'm saying? But I
Cheer me to the
love that. I
school.
love that environment. I
Yeah.
love it.
Okay, so would you ever think about, and this is just me just throwing out, but what would you open up like maybe like a touch and soul school, right? To teach something similar to that. Like if you leave a legacy of this being behind, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it gets out of being just flooding a school. Because once you flood a school of shoes, I mean, yeah, you didn't flood every school in America, but if you could flood a whole school full of shoes,
Right.
that is a goal in itself, right? So how do you and you
How do you
like
one
me,
up that?
bro? You like me, so what
But
how can I go
yeah,
bigger,
how you go
right?
bigger?
So
Yeah.
how do you think you could go as big as you want with Touch and Soul, right? Like
I
what's
would say not really a school.
okay.
Like I thought about that before, but I'm just like it didn't really resonate with me like I wanted
Yeah.
to. I would say a scholarship foundation.
Scholarship, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then
To
you still get
college
the
or
college to
okay.
college. You still get a pair of shoes.
Uh-huh.
That's gonna forever be a part of it. But then this is something like for you to pick your dream school or you know what I'm saying, something like that. We paying the tuition, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Especially you might be the only graduate in your family. You know
Yeah.
what I
First
mean? Like
gen.
that's the type of shit I'm
Yeah.
talking about. I don't really want no school,
But
for real.
nah, the
But I would
scholarship,
love to
that's
do a
cool.
scholarship foundation where it's just like,
Okay.
yeah,
All
we're
right.
gonna help you.
We're gonna help you right
We're gonna
now.
help you as long as you want to help yourself.
Shit, as long as you want to help yourself, y'all. So, touching souls, right? You get the shoes, you get a pizza. But I mean, like, you talk about a DJ. Like, what is the touching soul experience a school gets?
You know what? It it's a variety of different factors. So I'm gonna give you this for example. Shout out DJ Kiati. Me and DJ Kiati, he heard about what I was doing just from him emceeing the Rockets games. I'm always there, so me and him got a chance to connect. So for a couple of schools in Houston, like we had Funny Mike come, influencer, social media
Yeah.
influencer. Rod Wave came to one of the sneaker giveaways we did. Who else we had? I feel like we had somebody else come to. We had a few stars, but just giving them kids that experience is just like everything. You know what I mean? Like some of these stars is what these kids look up to, but they'll never ever be in the same room as them, never be able to touch them or whatever the case may be. So bringing that aspect in with shoes, with activity, with community, with the school support as everything. So a touch and souls experience could be from anywhere from just shoes. You're gonna get the vibe with the DJ. He gonna come in
Mm-hmm.
during lunchtime.
Yeah.
This is your time when you talking to your friends and stuff
Yeah.
anyway. So we ain't even trying to take too much time away because I know
Yeah.
this is where y'all really, you know what I'm saying, really can talk to your homies and shit like that. But it's sneakers, it's a DJ, it's food, and then sometimes we'll bring a star,
Damn.
somebody that they like, especially when they on tour. They got to stop in Houston or something like that. Hey man, what you think about coming to the school? Just showing up for say 20, 30 minutes if you got some time. And
Yeah.
I try not to force it,
Yeah.
but if you want to do it, listen, we got the avenue for you to
Yeah.
come pop up.
Yeah. And that'd be like they'll come and do it and
Yeah, come and do it.
mean the
And
world to them
oh
kids.
man, they announced the names for the shoes. Hey, the shoes go to such and such. Oh man,
Oh, so somebody always come to
it's
the back.
cold.
Hey, I ain't gonna
They
lie to
like,
you. I be
oh
tight.
man, we got
I can.
such and such for y'all.
I ain't had no artists come to my school.
Man, you should have seen when Rod Wave came out. Man, them kids was so lit. I'm talking about
Yo,
tears.
bro, what? That's
Bro,
crazy.
the influence these people got on these
Tears, like
kids.
crying or walking.
Like
That's
crying,
crazy.
bro. Yeah.
Wow.
It get wicked, bro.
Wow.
It get wicked.
Wow. So you talk about actually you talk about school, you talk about you went to a Catholic school, right? So, the this touching souls? I mean, it sounds like it does, but it just has godly principles enveloped in them, and so like, do you partner with churches and stuff like that to like how do y'all work with churches?
No, I try not. I
Okay.
mean, I ain't gonna say I do, but if the situation allows it to,
Mhm.
yes. One thing about religion and other different sectors of life, you got to be cautious when it
Mhm.
comes with kids because there's no force on religion and
Mhm.
things of that nature. So I just try to meet them exactly where they at
Okay.
in school. I try not to be overbearing. You know what I mean, because that's a sensitive topic
Mhm.
in school. But I have um, went to like community centers, things of that nature for sure. But if a church was to reach out to me, hey, we would love for you to come and get some shoes out to the kids here at church. I would love to.
Okay.
But my main focus is actually the school,
School. The
the
school.
school, because another part of touching souls and what I do is um, I tie it into the teachers as well too,
Okay.
because the teachers is just as important
Yeah.
as the students.
So how what exactly do you?
So I adopted coloring teachers, and
Mhm.
I did I adopted them for Teacher Appreciation Week. So I fed the entire. I took them out. I took them out. We kicked
Oh.
it.
Oh yeah,
We
y'all
we
need them at y'all school.
for
I bet hey,
sure.
they about to see
Oh
this and be like,
man,
hey,
listen.
yo, get
We
here. They
did we
talking
did
about
we did a
because I
teachers
know you was eating
appreciation,
good.
eating good.
I
They
know
got a
y'all was
chance to
eating
really
good.
like let their hair down with the colleagues, and it
Yeah.
was like I asked them. I said, y'all ever get the chance to do this? We never get the chance to do this. We never get a chance to go out and really enjoy ourselves
They
without the
just
kids.
as wow.
And them teachers are just important because they with the kids more than the parents, more than some of the parents. You know what I mean? And not we ain't even gonna get into how much they get paid because that shit is, what I'm
But
saying, for what they
bananas
for what they
for
go
what they
through.
going through.
Oh, bro,
Bananas. Yeah. Man, so you get food, you get cheese. Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. If you was, they had something like this when I was in high school, dog.
that's it,
I'd have
bro.
been in there. I don't care if I had all the shoes. Hey, we need them here.
Yeah, like I
Like
just like
that's like a
it's one of
whole
them
pep
things,
rally,
bro.
but a big like times 10,
Literally,
like times
literally,
10.
bro. And that's what me and Kiadi was doing. We was hitting all the pep rallies. We do all the pep rallies right before the the football team come out before
Yeah,
they announce their names
games
for
and
the
stuff.
players and stuff. And then we'll hype them all up. Kiadi will hype them all up. And then outside of when they doing it for pep rally, we just go through a normal day. It might be a normal day. Listen, here come touching souls. They
Yeah,
some of them don't know nothing about touching souls. They
yeah.
know when we in the whole thing for
Okay,
sure.
shit show, bro. Man, so I'm gonna ask you this last and final question, right? I'm a father, you're a father,
Uh-huh.
right? What do you want your kids and future kids, right, to remember or hear about touching souls long after you've gone?
I just want my kids to be first appreciative of what Touching Souls is here to do. The mission, and that's to provide resources to those underserved. We're talking about financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and things of that nature. Um, I want my kids to have the same, if not more, um, influence when it comes to giving back. I want them to really, really know the importance and how you can change one's life and one's trajectory in life just by giving back, having conversation. Because just as the shoes, like I said, the shoes is the cool part about it. But even just sitting down and having conversation, with other kids, you can have new insight on life. You know what I mean? So I want
Yeah.
my kids to really understand like touching souls is something cool. It's something cool to be a part of too. Cause you got some shit just like, man, this shit corny as hell. I ain't gonna lie. Like I don't even want my name
Yeah,
attached to this
attached to
shit.
that.
You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I want them to know like, man, touching souls cool as hell. And what it stands for is actually really, really cool. And it's changing lives like every day. I get a DM or a text message, something like that, like every day. Like, what's up with touching souls? You know what I mean? So I want my kids to really understand like the impact that touching souls have, and whether they want to, take it on or not. I want them to know like, damn, my dad was really doing some dope shit.
Man, that's fire, bro, man. And again, I appreciate you coming out today, man. It really means a lot. You could have been anywhere else, anyone, especially time is money. And I know you're a busy man. So I appreciate you. Are there any shout outs to any local sponsors, community, things like that you want to give, that's been, rocking with you in this Houston area since day one and just,
Man,
made life easy?
I wanna just say thank you to everybody that's been pointing touching souls. Just today in general, cool dad. Shout out to Kev for allowing us to use his space all the time. Van Vliet Family Foundation, of course. Those are my people. Everybody else, man, listen. Get in tune with touching souls. Touching souls love you. If anybody told you they love you today, that's what it is. Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
Nah, we out, man. And like you kind of stole my little spiel here, dog. Cause normally I do my little shameless plug for Cool Dad, but he done already said it, y'all. So we out.